Hello everybody, this is Martin here and welcome to another live FB at 11 a.m. Friday. We'd like to welcome all our audience and those of you who's watching this recording, a very happy Friday. And guess what, as we approach the Merdeka as well as the Malaysian Day, I think a lot of us Malaysians are quite proud to fly the flag with the new government. I am for a start, okay, just to confess here. And like it or not, the first 100 days has been very interesting, and we can see the impact of the Pakatan Harapan. For those of you who's listening from overseas, just to let you know, the opposition previously has won, and that's what we have a so-called a new administration. No doubt the news that is coming out remain to be very interesting as we dig further to the finances of our country. But let's not just stroll away from what's happening to the country, but let's look at the stock market that we've seen so far. All right, so let's look at the agenda that we have today. Those of you who is watching will probably know this is the 24th of August, and the headline that we have currently is as such that what we see in the market has been pretty interesting. We had the news yesterday, okay, that the talk between the US trade war end in no conclusion. That's what the night before we have the SGX up almost 50 points, which we usually don't see in 1.5%, as well as the KLSE up almost 12 points in anticipation of the better conclusion, or at least some sort of a tariff ending or signal of tariff ending between the China and US trade war. But that did not materialize. So as you can see, what's likely to happen will be the next meeting, which is on November 6th. After midterm election, where will be election of the House of Representatives in the Congress, and you will see whether the Republican or the Democrat. Now, why is this important? Because all this has really impact on the longer term of the stock market, how we proceed, and that's always been the macroeconomics and how we look at. But no doubt, we also look at the smaller time frame, which is the price and volume, where we look at the market interaction, the market dynamics, and that's what we also talk about in here. So right now, before we go into the headlines, let's look at the outlook that we have for the stock market right here. Okay, first of all, again, we use TradingView as our basis for our market. Okay, let me just log in here, and bear in mind, tomorrow, August 25th, those of you who happen to be in Kuala Lumpur, we are doing our technical workshop on the spotting the volume using price and volume, but in TradingView chart. What you will see is exactly what you will have here. Now, those of you may want to know more about what we have in this market, do check us out tomorrow and our offerings too. Now, right now, this is the VSA plugin for TradingView. Fortunately from TradingView, the small cap stock do not have volume. That's why we don't see any of the sign of strength or sign of weakness that we have in here. All right, so this is what we have, and so what you can see, perhaps what I want to show you now is the parts. Let me just erase this. This is from last week, and let me just draw this. Okay, now what we have here, this is what we call the stop loss. Okay, the stop loss. So that has been quite, I would say, very positive, because it didn't go beyond here. Let's look at this is the KLSE small cap stock. Now, why we look at the small cap stock, I think it's fairly simple, because many of our members as well as investors trade the smaller cap stocks, and these are the ones that typically a lot of retail investors look for the big gains in here. No doubt, this is currently what we have here is a real time. You can see the market just pops down here, and it's yet to be seen. You have overall what we call the resistance, that's right, which is around 15,200 level. Okay, so we do have a support here, right? Now what we want to see is some sort of another support level around 14,933 levels in here. All right, so this is what I can say about small cap. The only positive things is still in the green. All right, green heat zone. That means the trend is likely to continue going forward, right? Red heat zone, that's the one we want to be out. All right, and in between we look for sign of strength, sign of weakness. Okay, let me just save this, and I would come back to it later on and look at it. Okay, this is the small cap stop. Okay, the KLCI small cap, which is today's date, 24th of August 2018. Okay, now next let me just erase this. I would look at it will be the STI, then I'll come back to the KLCI. STI, just type STI in here. It's not that too difficult. All right, there you go, STI. So you can see STI has another story. All right, STI, this was the so-called 50 points gap, gap up. Okay, this is the gap up, 50 plus points. Okay, this is, we're talking about the SGX, STI. All right, the STI, the 50-point gaps, but what is really positive here is the double bottom. Okay, the double bottom. All right, double bottom here, and the market has broke through the ATR stop loss, which means trend is still. Certainly, we are looking for an upbeat movement after August for the STI, but we do see the trade war came in effect, and that drags on this in here. And like it or not, the Straits Time STI, it's very, very similar to what we see also in Hang Seng. We have the double bottom in here. Last week when we were talking, which is I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we were somewhere around here. It did hold a nice support around 3,200 level here. Let me just write this down. There is a support right at 3,200 levels, and that's a pretty good level to look at. All right, so that's one of the levels we are looking at. So let me just save this again, which is normally what I do. So to have an impact, okay, STI 24th of August 2018. Now I will come back to the KLCI now, since we've done this one here. And so the KLCI here, there's this level Bursa here. We can actually screen this or not. Now this is the Bursa end of day chart. Okay, this is the end of day chart. You can see this is why we have that 50 points up. We were looking for a positive breakout here. Okay, we were looking for a positive breakout, and that's what we wanted to see, a really positive breakout. Okay, and a follow through. Well, the follow through might come in if and only we have some sort of a talk agreement to back down, where the US Donald Trump delegates and the Chinese delegates back down, and then you see this up movement, but there isn't, unfortunately. So the market pinned back in here, and as such we now have double top. Okay, we have double top now. All right, we have a double top, and that's what we've seen so far. This is the KLCI. Good thing is it's still in the green zone, and let's hope it continued to go up. Now early on the title, why I believe KLCI can go further is because a lot of the bad news are being precipitated. The worst that we've seen was in July, when the big bath, we have the May election in here, and to me there was a double bottom, and then the market continued to move up here. You can see right now why this market can actually go higher, because it is in the midst of a stage 2 markup. That's right. What does a stage 2 markup, which means this market is likely to continue onwards. No doubt we have a little bit of pullback in here, but going forward from a technical side, it does look very positive. This market move that we may test back the 1860. Now remember, we have support at 1780, 1790. So let me just make a note. This is a KLCI. All right, the KLCI in here, what's really going positive is the manufacturing figures coming out. It's not as bad it is, as well as our GDP figure for the Malaysia is still going around 4.5% GDP growth. So we do have a support at around 1780. Okay, level and the immediate resistance will be around 1840 to 1860. So likely the market is going to do some sort of a congestion here, but looking to break out, right? I'm very positive based on the information that we have and what we've seen in the technical. This market will continue to maintain above the 1800. It's very important they maintain 1800. Should the market were to break down back to 1780, right, and below, this is the key here. That's why in the VSA chart, we have this ATR stop loss, which is quite important. This level here we are talking about is 1770. Okay, so 1770 is what we call the threshold, or threshold that the market must hold. Okay, the market must hold to prevent any loss. Right now, the KLCI year to date is about 3% or 2% down. Right, Singapore is a bit worse off. Only US continue to do well. Partly is because of the stronger economy that they post, as well as some of the headlines, which I will get into it shortly after this. Okay, this one again, I would take a snapshot of this. Okay, not that one. Okay, KLCI. All right, so I'm going to move on to Hang Seng and then as well as Dow Jones. Okay, I'll just erase that one. Get that one. Hang Seng, we just type HSI. Now this is the Hang Seng. Like it or not, you can just draw the lines here. You can see it is pretty much in a downtrend. Right now, the downtrend is always signified by the red hit zone. Let me just write that down again. Okay, by the red hit zone. Okay, now this right here normally denotes the market is actually in a stage 4. All right, it broke through here again. There is no indication of this market turning up at any moment now. I don't know if this is going to happen in November or in October, but we have to wait to be seen, because the only catalyst I see now is the midterm election, which is November 6th. Now we're only in August. We've got 3 more months to go to November. Well, we will see whether this market can go up or it's going to move sideways, and it will be interesting also to look at the earnings, which is coming up by a lot of the companies that will report end of August or first week of September. So that's the reporting time that we see. So this is Hang Seng. I'm not going to save this one. I'm just going to erase this. Right, the story still remain pretty much intact. The US trade war. Now we're going to go to Dow Jones here. Okay, let me just take this on off. Now you look at Dow Jones. This is a real-time chart that we have, and definitely you can see we came off from a red hit zone. The market breaks up, right, and it took out the old high here, and it gives some sort of support. No doubt the last 2 days was in anticipation this breakout to higher. Because of the trade war, there was some result, but it's not. Then we will see this market was going to drift back right to the support around 25.54. A lot of new stocks have made new high. The technology sectors, I think Apple have made a new high. Not the Chinese technology stock, but definitely the American technology stock. Apple, I think Nvidia, all this, check this out, and they've done very well. One of the stocks that I bought early on for my client as well, some of members who follow, was American Eagle Outfitter. This stock has gone ballistic, and guess what? It is not even a technology stock. This is just apparel, a fabric. We bought around $13. Now it's almost $28, right, in the span of about a year plus, and that's pretty good. Gone up way, a lot more than most people can anticipate it. So that's the Dow Jones that we have. We do have some sort of support here. Right now the market is in green zone, so that's pretty good. Right, it gives some sort of green heat zone. This market will be fairly sustainable going forward, as long as we don't see this, breaking of the ATR stop loss, or to me the threshold level for the index. All right. Okay, so let's conclude the market outlook. I'm just going to go through some of these now for the news. Okay, let me just clear this off. This one here. Okay, so we've done that one. I'm going to go back to the news headline in here. Definitely one of the things I usually go through, and I encourage for all our listeners and members, is to go through our blog under Martin/category news, where the point is go through this kind of news that you can see, is to get a feel of the market. You don't need to go through it, but as an investor, right, you need to know where the market is saying. This is like, you know, if you are in the boat and you are trading in and out, you still need to know the weather. Am I correct? Whether the weather is good, the weather is not. And the same thing, by just looking at the headline of the news, you will know whether, you know, the weather is conducive enough for you to trade or not. Right now, we may see a storm may be coming. Okay, a storm would come at that stage. So this is where you may see there is no opportunity. You want to stay out. That is also good. But if you do see some opportunity lying ahead where you want to buy stock very cheap, is one. Now, one stocks which in my opinion has gone very cheap is the Alibaba. Now remember, Alibaba posts a very nice EPS earning underpinning the current technology growth, and the revenue is up, the earnings is up almost 61% if I recall from the news reading, but the stock has really taken a beating. I will show you this chart in here where you can see Alibaba is called BABA, right? And it will be in the red hit zone. There you can see this market had taken a huge beating, and this was when the reporting came out. It gaps up to $184 here. This is where the start of the trade war in July, and we are right at the bottom here. You can see the long range. The support here is about $170. Now, like it or not, this market, Alibaba, has been beaten down a lot, and this is really an opportunity. Now, if the trade war were to end in November, right, this stock, Alibaba, mark my word, is going to go higher and not lower. Right? Remember, in volume spread analysis, the goal of the smart money operator is to shake you out with all this kind of news, so to avoid you from buying at the low. And this is why you know, the climatic volume that you see, we call it the Yao Ming bar here, continue to give an opportunity where we can really buy right now. Maybe buy along 172 if you like Alibaba or Tencent. The other stock is also Tencent, which also available in TradingView. That's one of the great things about TradingView. One, access to it allows you to see all the market, right? You can put on Tencent, which is a stock code of 700. Again, another opportunity in here. You can see the market really went down in here. A lot of news has been out. They missed a quarter, then they say the thing is growth. But to me, that's temporary. I do see this market been really punished since March, all the way from 460 to 320. This is almost a 30% drop. But again, there's some opportunity in here if you're looking for some bit of a growth in here. But do wait for the green hit zone before buying anything, right? Then we'll see a trend coming back here. And you can also check out that there is earnings coming in on whether it's positive. There you go, right? It was a surprise, minus 70%. So those are things that you can see and there's another one here. You can see whether it's positive, the dividend payout in TradingView. And one of the things you have very positive, and you can apply for Apple to TradingView, the next platform of the future. Trust me on that one. Okay, now let's going forward. We got some news headline, emerging markets. All right, so we want to do now is to go through the news segment that we have here, right? And let's go. I'll go back to here, and we have just looking at action program, Penang slice in here. Manufacturing, yes, moderates in the first half 2018, which is already a pass, right? And we go to page 2. What we are really looking at is just look at headlines that will interest us. Facebook suspend 100 of apps over data concern. Typhoon, HG, Myanmar, 5.4x has a buy, rebalancing Nam Cheong, and all right. Okay, without a deal. All right, so that's the thing. Now let's look at next we're going to look at is the stock pick that we have last week, 17th of August, and here we go. So you can see last week, 17th of August, we picked Malaysian Pacific, Unisem, YZH, and you can see this is the what we call the equity curve. of the chart. You can see the equity curve chart is up 4% in a week. Isn't that interesting, right? Isn't that interesting? Well, this is partly due to Cosmo, which is, a big move. Despite Hong Kong is down, I think Cosmo is up 21 cent or 18.16. You can also take a look at this at the chart wise. And how we pick them, I'm going to go back to here. Last week, MPI was using the screener, the minor diamond screener. We got the 18-day line change and no supply was the Cosmo. Now keep in mind, tomorrow on the 25th of August, we'll be doing a workshop to really go through this. Now, I encourage some of our members, if you are at our website, do take a look at our market, under market, trade summary, close result. Now, these are all our VSA trade result ever since we started the blog sometime early this year. You can see, you can click on that one, and we prepare especially for our members to justify why you need to have VSA compared to anything else. Now, VSA is one of the most powerful, and I believe, in my opinion, in terms of market analysis approach, which is very different from fundamental and technical analysis. So here is the result that you see. I won't have time to go through it here today, but I'll definitely cover it, some of it, tomorrow on August 25th. Hopefully you can come, you can bring a friend along to our workshop, or eventually those members who is listening now, I may cover this on another time to talk about some of these in here, but do read them. And this is for the close result, right? And okay, so I'm just going to move on. Next is the favorite portfolio continue to do well. You can look at that. We decided to maintain this 5.9% yesterday. The AI team took a hit because of the two Chinese stocks. FADO continued to do well, partly due to Dufu, which we picked much almost up 82%. The SGX is down 1%. We got the Thai beverage been taking a hit, but the GE 14 recovery registered almost. This was sort of constructed just before the election, and we are almost 9.5% up so far. And Kellington finally make a new breakout. And remember, in March 28, we have the Stephen Wong came in for our market conference, and he came in and told us some positive news. Eventually, it did turn out quite well too. So let's see how we go. So right now, I have Zach with me here. He's going to go through some stock for next week. Perhaps I will pass the mic to him to talk more about the stock pick that we have for you, and also to review the stock. We'll do what will we do first, Zach?
Yeah, we'll do stock pick first for next week before we go to stock review. So for those members currently who is watching this live FB, you are welcome to comment below the stock that you want both of us to review. Okay. Now I'd like to go to our stock picks for next week. Okay, the very first stock that we pick is Matrix Concept. Okay, for your info, the stock picks that we pick up for next week is available on martintfwong blog. This is actually from 18 line chain screener. So this is stocks that we pick. The reason why we pick up this stock is that, first of all, we have see a very nice reaccumulation level. You can see there's a very nice support level breaking up with higher volume, and today we will see a slight pullback. Okay, a smaller bar with a low volume. So it breaks on this previous high level. Okay, and currently this price 2.09 is offer a very low risk price in my opinion. So this price is ready to move and break through this resistance. Okay, so for those members, especially for those members who have attended Martin course before, I believe you still remember the cash income method, so you can apply this method using this trade. Okay, for Matrix Concept. Okay, the next one we have is EcoWorld. Okay, I put the code directly. 8206. EcoWorld also we pick it up from 18LC screener. Again, a very similar patterns that they offered from compared to mattress concept. First of all, we can see there's a very strong accumulation level over here. Price just maintained around 1.21, and then it breaks through this resistance. Okay, it breaks through here. Again, we see a line change yesterday, and today a very slight pullback with low volume. So currently offer a very similar trade pattern, I can say, compared to matrix, and the reward here is still pretty nice. This is the previous high, which is the resistance level. Okay, this is the resistance level. So you can plan your trade, okay, for your eco wave. Let's say you are interested. Offer a very low risk and then giving a very high rewards for eco waves.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, the next one we have is from Singapore First Resources, EB5. Okay, EB5, the pattern is slightly different compared to matrix and eco that we have. Okay,
Zach, click on the earnings, Zach. Apparently for Singapore on TradingView, you can see the earnings.
Yeah, the earnings.
And the earning is, wow, positive
250%.
Surprise, isn't it? Right now, First Resources is a palm more stocks, and now right now with the trade war ongoing, and right now at a very good base of accumulation. Previously, you can look at the earnings was negative, and that's why we have a positive earning. Now, right now, this market is really been beaten down. It's partly due to the trade war. So again, you're really picking up a very nice base, and followed by a 18-day line change.
Okay, so by looking at these charts, okay, these charts, First Resources, we can see there's a stage 4, okay, marked down on the left hand side background. But why do we pick this up is that look at this. Okay, we have a very nice accumulations coming back with a very nice support level over here. And yesterday we have line change. Okay, we have line change. So for those members who are interested to trade for these stocks, yeah, you can buy somewhere around price around 1.6, you know, and then with the rewards of sorry, let me get my arrows up, and this will be your reward. Again, for those members who attended Martin course before, do apply cash income methods. I think this is very good practice for you, you know, to how to take partial income using these trades. Okay, next we'll go to Hong Kong. I have Lifestyle Chi from 18 line changes as well. Okay, Lifestyle Chi. Again, whenever we select stock, I would like to prefer to look at my background, which is my left hand side. As you can see from here, left hand side here, very strong support level, and what we see over here is that we got a lot of spring bar, test bar. Spring bar, test bar, which means smart money currently is accumulating, and then they slowly flush out all the vacant holder before a push up. You can see here, push up with a very high volume, and subsequently price continue on the stage 2. Okay, so recently price have broke this level. Okay, have broke this level, previous resistance level, and then you can trade around somewhere around 3.63 around this area, and then you can take some partial profit, and let's say you hit this level, okay, around 4, the previous resistance level. So again, a very nice trade that you can utilize your knowledge on the cash income method, which is if some member who attended the 2-day course before. Okay, now this is the 4 stock picks that we have for you for next week. Mattress Concept, Eco World, Development, First Resources, and Lifestyle Chi. Now I'd like to go to stock review. We actually have a quite number of stock review for this week. Okay, first of all is SCGM.
And both of us will probably comment on this one here.
Yeah, I think SCGM is from Jin, our member Jin from Singapore.
Alright, now if you look at SCGM, right now that we see, the market is a lot of pressure right now. Today, the market did fall back below in here. So this trade, like it or not, it doesn't turn good. We have to exit technically. If end of the day, if the market were to break back to 161 in here, that doesn't look good. We don't need to go to 150 because we want to see this market continue to go up. But yesterday was a low volume. This bar touches this spring here, it's time to exit. And that's what we always do. Remember, when I sent this to all the FB, the setup was around here. We got this market, but right now when the market broke through this means no good. All right, you better exit. All right, so Jean, I'm very sorry this trade didn't turn out, but it always happens sometimes. We were looking for the market to break up. There was a low volume trade here, but today is not something I want to see. But also in tandem to the trade war that we have, everything seems to be going south rather than north. But no doubt we hasn't touched the ATR stop loss, but it's okay. We take a small loss, we exit, and that's the whole point of it. This was the day when this bar came out. This was the yesterday bar. Remember I talked about it. The stop loss should be placed under here. No doubt the market has not closed yet. Remember, now it's only 11:30 and our rule says that we have to wait till 4:30. But if you don't like what you see, you can exit partially and see how it goes by end of the day. But volume is certainly very low, you can see right now. And a lot of time you do see smart money really marked down. But as I can see right now, the chart doesn't look very good to me. It's time to go. You know, if you make a small loss, but it's okay. We can come back again and look for another stock. And that's what trading is all about, right? We don't win all the time. It's a small loss. We just move on.
Okay, I think from Facebook here, members came here also asking about SCGM. Okay, so Martin just reviewed earlier. Okay, now we go to the next our stock review. SuperConnect. Okay. Okay, SuperConnect. I think SuperConnect is from Devi, our members Devi. Okay, a very nice background. Okay, a very nice background from offered by SuperConnect. Okay, as you can see, it breaks through the previous high level. Okay, we have a very long reaccumulation level over here, which is nice. The background is strong, which means there's an accumulation from the smart money. Continuation on the stage 2, but as you can see from our VSA chart, we have this upthrust, okay, with a very high volume. So I will advise our members, Debbie, if we are in this trade, you can think of some partial profit and then let the rest run your profit.
One comment about this, you see in upthrust, the couple of day movement, if the market were to move sideways and did not turn upwards, the key is looking at the volume and looking at the low of the bar. Right, we want to see market moving. It's the same thing what we saw for SCGM. If you notice for the SuperConnect and also the same with SCGM, we saw an upthrust, the market moved sideways, right? We want to see that market hold its ground. It didn't hold its ground. No doubt market is falling lower on lower volume in here. That could be a wash, but the charts has lost its momentum temporarily, and the key why we would want to do that trade, it's a very short-term trade, just like SCGM in here, and the same goes for SuperConnect. If we do see the market now is still very low, and remember today it's also not good news because of the trade war. All right, just take note of that one.
Yeah, until for now, I think in KLSE we have a drop of 8 points currently.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, now the next one we have from member is JF Technology. Okay, JF Techs. Okay, let me zoom up. Okay, let's see. First of all, whenever I want to review a stock, I would like to look at the background again. Of course, background here, as I can see, is at the stage 4 markdown. Okay, and then what happens from May to August is that we have accumulations. Okay, we have accumulations, and then here it started to turn to green hit zone. Okay, green hit zone. Let me put up the line. Okay, so market break up with a very high volumes, okay, with widespread bar. And this chart I think is from I can't recall which member, but if let's say for me, if you haven't traded this stock yet, I would like to recommend you to buy somewhere around this support level. where is the NS bar is, or confirmation NS. In fact, today you can enter based on the confirmation of the NS for JF tag. Okay, we have a uptrust over here, no doubt. Okay, no doubt. But whenever you buy around this level, around 0.88 or 85, okay, you can always take some partial profit whenever you hit your resistance level. For those members who attended, I think last 2 weeks ago, Martin,
Yes.
during our VSA training, Martin do mention about the NS strategy, which is you can use it. Okay, NS strategy, 5 day, it hit your 5%, 6%, you can take some profit for this. Very nice also, we have an accumulation, your support level with a breakout bar. Okay, now currently pullback with confirmation of pullback as well. Okay, next one I have is Cinderella for from Devi, if not mistaken. 1156. Okay, from Facebook here, I think Peter is asking, what is uptrust? Uptrust no good? Yeah, definitely. Uptrust is a sign of weakness. Okay, where we have a sell distribution from the smart money. This is called uptrust. Okay, this is Cinderella from our members Devi. Okay, again, I would like to look at my background. Okay, stage 4. Now coming back to stage 1, we have a few spring bar on the support level, which is nice, and then going back to stage 2 again. Now currently this stock is still in green hit zone. Okay, what's nice about it is that, as you can see from it, today it dropped. Okay, it dropped and it hit the support level. I would like to see some start of strength from here before I enter for this trade. Okay, so as you can see from here, when I draw this support level, you can see the spring bar, line change, spring bar, line change, and then line change. So I would like to see maybe some spring or line change today before I re-enter for this trade. But this trade is quite volatile because it's below 20 cents, so your risk is also quite high. Okay, Devi. So the next one I have is Anju 6556. Okay, Anju currently is still in stage 1. From the background here, I can see stage 4 marking down and then now turning back to stage 1. I also notice the zone, it turned to green. So a very nice one. You look closely at the support. Okay, we have spring. Okay, let me zoom up a bit. We have spring, NS, and now we have a test bar for today. Okay, test bar for today on a very low volume. So for those members that prefer to use NS trade or buy on test, yeah, this is a level you can buy. Okay, around this area, cut loss below 1.85. Okay, and then you have very high in terms of rewards. Okay, again, for those members who attended Martin course before, you can always exit partially on the resistance. So buy over here, okay, partial exit, and then this is your stop loss, which is this stock offer for me, Anju, a very nice trade for those members who like a very low risk trade based on NS or test. Okay, next one I have is DNO. DNO, I think it's from Sylvia. Okay, DNO currently is still in stage 2. Okay, look at the background. We have a very nice support over here. Look again at the support level. We have a lot of spring bar, which means market is washing the smart money, the weekend holder before it make the push. Okay, so now currently this is the support level you're looking at the stage 2. Mark up, and this is the previous high. Now resistance and turn to support. Okay, so I don't know whether Sylvia, have you entered for this trade already or not. If not, today also offer a very good chance for you to buy around 0.70 or 755. Okay, 755, because now the previous resistance can turn to support level. But do bear in mind is that they have this huge resistance for them to break up. Okay, for me, you still can trade. Okay, 0.75, cut loss just below 745, and then you can take some partial profit when you hit the resistance. Okay, no doubt these stocks still offer very nice patterns. Okay, Sylvia. Next I have is FGV. FGV compared to DNO is nicer, okay, because this one is still overall still in the stage 4. Now, of course, starting to turn back to stage 1, okay, stage 1. Okay, and seems like it's still unable to break the previous high. That's why today we have a slight pullback. Again, if let's say you want to trade on this trade, you can always trade over here. Look out for spring bar or NS bar, okay, and then you can enter on the reaccumulation level, which is this level, which is offering a very low risk trade, and then always take some possible profit whenever you hit your resistance. Okay, of course, Sylvia, for both DNO offer very nice patterns compared to FGV. Next one I have is Salutica. Okay, Salutica, very similar pattern. I think just now some of the stock that we reviewed. Background again, stage 4 we have it, and a very nice accumulation level. Yeah, a very nice accumulation level. Okay, let me zoom in. We have a very high volume, with a gap up, but this gap up comes with uptrend. So market will move sideways. Okay, market will move sideways. Maybe around 675 to 615.
Now let me just add on what Zach say here. It's also important to stay above the gap, which is what Zach drawn will be the 61.5 cent support. So it needs to hold at that level. Remember, every time when the support is broken, it will, the resistance is broken, it will remain, becomes the support.
Okay, so we like to maintain this support level. Also, do look out for those members who have this TradeVSA, do look out for NS as a spring bar before you enter for this trade. Okay, Salutica. And then the next one we have from Facebook here is Kellington. I think Martin just now you mentioned about Kellington.
Yeah, Kellington is one of the stocks that I did hold on earlier, and you had a nice line change yesterday, and it's testing the old high. I always mention, there is some sort of element in here around the 88 and 89 cents. We see some selling, which is going to be happening, which what Zach has drawn here. So just do take note of this, whether will it break higher or not. But from a fundamentals point, I'm still holding this stock technically for my clients as well as some of the members, is because the setup is not too bad. And remember, I talked about earlier that KLSE is going higher and not lower, and one of the reasons why is because there is still a lot of opportunity for it to move up, and Kellington falls into that so-called situation where it is actually a growth stock. It doesn't have much depth. It is still growing a little bit of cash. I remember recall when we did the market conference around 20 million. So this one, who knows, may just break above 90 cents. You need to have a bit of patience going in for, and this stock was picked somewhere in April, I remember. That's why we have a 20% move from around the 67 cents. Maybe Zach can show the percentage of movement. So just going back to here. Enlarge this. Yeah, go on, keep going. Okay, change this to percentage. Okay. Right mouse, just look at that's right. So you can see how Zach did the percentage of movement from where we were. It's about 36% move, and that's one of the real benefit using the TradingView. All these options is available. You check out TradingView. It's a free account, and when you have VSA plug in together, that's even more powerful. Now we have in our right hand side of the description, those of you who are interested to know more about VSA and TradingView, August 25th, or go to our Eventbrite, which workshop, then we'll talk more. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
Sure, Martin. So the next one I have is EcoVest. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, EcoWest, very nice patterns also. Okay, let me draw again on the backgrounds. Background, we have markdown, stage 4. Now turning back to accumulation. Okay, we have one accumulations here, and then another reaccumulation level. So look at the pattern of the bar. Okay, but like Martin mentioned, he always like to trade something a very narrow bar with low volume. Then this exactly it exactly offer the same type of patterns. Okay, now again, today I have a test bar, Martin. We have a test bar today,
but remember the chart is real time, so it's not confirmed yet.
Yeah, it's not confirmed yet.
Yeah,
so if end of the day it's still on the test bar, so yeah, you can apply the strategy, the 5-day NS strategy, which will offer you a very low risk trade.
Now remember, those of you, now remember those of you is in TradingView, do take note, these are real-time charts, so we have to wait for the end of the day. Else technically, when we do our live trading session, we will look at the intraday movement at half an hour and 1 hour chart. All right, just take note of that.
Okay, so now we go to our last stock review for today. I think this is for member Johnny also, MYEG. Okay, MYEG,
much better chart.
Yeah, much better. So we have, okay, this I think we previously draw before, accumulation level, okay, and then now at resistance, hit the previous resistance. Okay, markets can break, maybe you go back down again and move sideways. So member John is asking, Martin, he's asking, by reviewing on this MYEG chart, is it time to exit?
Well, as you can see, the gap that you have will always represent resistance, correct? It's always represent resistance. Now, my question is, are you trading this or are you investing? Okay, are you trading or investing? There's always be the question in it. On technicals, it looks like you need to take some profit because it's hitting a resistance in there for a shorter time. But on investing, which I have, I see this MYEG as potentially, recovering what it had before the election, when the market gap, anticipating the market is not going to do well. This is very similar to also to Top Glove. When the bad news came, the thing just plummeted, right? So I believe every investor need to relook into their own risk appetite. Are you trading or are you investing at that purpose? Investing, I think this one has a bit more room to go, but if you're trading, maybe you want to take some profit. I think in the mind of all investors and traders, they tend to mix up the time frame and their risk appetite. I've seen this over and over as a coach, as a trainer, as a fund manager, as well as an author. My job is to actually help you to really look at what you want. What is your real goal in here? A lot of time, a lot of investors don't really know at all, and that's always been their problem, especially when you are managing your own money. Now remember, whether it is 30,000, 10,000, you need to know. A lot of people come in with the perspective of making money, that's for sure, but not knowing they are actually trading. If you're trading, then look at the shorter time frame, 5 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. Now in our stock trade idea, all those you'll see with a time frame of 2 months, that's all. We don't do more than that, and if the market were to run, we close our trades because we have found out through our own back testing, right? This period is the best, and I will share with you more, those of you who like to attend our workshop, and a bit more on that one.
Okay. So I hope member Johnny, okay, you're watching this live FB, as Martin commented on your MYEG. So Martin, I think we finished all the stock review. Okay, now I'll pass back to Martin.
Yeah, thanks a lot. All right, now as a summary, one of the things that we're doing is a technical workshop. Go to eventbrite.sg, okay, eventbrite.sg, and just look for smart money spotting, the smart money using volume. You're able to find and register more. Bring a friend along, and we want to unveil this cloud that you have in the market using price and volume. No doubt we don't win all the time, but what we are trying to do is to trade in harmony with the smart money. When they buy, we buy. So this is a very good example in the scene that we've shown you just on MYEG, why your goal must be very clear, because my goal and your goal will be different. Any stock that you see, right? If you're just trading in the shorter time frame, like we did for SGGN, which some of our members, this is one of the stocks on the 17th of August. The setup was beautiful, but today is no longer. Just now when you saw me just now, I was actually texting, replying to some of the FB posts that I have earlier. It's time to exit. Okay, it's time to exit because the trade did not work out well, and that's the whole game is about, making small loss and letting the profit run. It's all going to depend on your time frame for that one. So today, as a summary in terms of the market, what I do see right now, the US trade war will likely to cause this market to unsettle, to likely cause the market to go south. Okay, Donald Trump continued to trade about South Africa being the next country to sanction, and that's not really good. And they even talk about the impeach. What happened if Donald Trump get impeached? We haven't even priced that yet into the market, as well as we have the midterm election. Now remember, the stock market always go up in a wall of worry. A wall of worry, which means as it go up, a lot of these news designed to throw out investor. Correct. So that's why it's important to understand the language of the market, which is understanding price and volume, and that's how I survived over the last 10 years, looking at both macroeconomics and then looking at price and volume. If you do that and have a clear goal in mind, I'm sure you will succeed in investing. Now, investing is not that difficult. A clear conscience goal mind you will have, and when you are crystal clear, you will make money. All right. So again, the KLSE I think is going to go higher, not lower. A lot of the bad news been priced in. News coming out in terms of manufacturing figures, the GDP growth for Malaysia, not that bad. Okay. And the SGI, STI, again taking a cue from China, the Hang Seng, which we just saw Hang Seng continue to go down in a red heat zone. Right. Hang Seng is a red heat zone. Singapore STI is also on the red heat zone, and that is going to be the problem that we see now before it turns to green. All right. So with that, we end our live FB show today. Thank you for your time. We really enjoy our presence in here. Do share and give us a Facebook like in our this video that you're watching here, and share with your friends and video in your timeline so they can really know about how we can help you and them in your endeavor in the financial market and looking for that positive second income. With that, myself, Zach.
Yeah, thank you for everyone for watching. So we'll see you again next week.
We'll see you again at 9. Happy Malaysia Day, National Day. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.